And of course, we have our guest back here with us via Zoom, and hopefully the connection will be much better as we continue the conversation with him. Ms. Ukpola, I asked you this question before that connection went off earlier, and I'm going to repeat that question now. I said, are we gradually normalizing here in Nigeria the need for politicians to jump ship from one political party to the other under the guise of crisis or political instability in their respective political parties?
Right, thank you once again for having me back. If you use the word normalizing, I don't know if I would take that exactly.
Okay.
But I would say that it has been a recurrent thing because of the way this is being played in our country. And being that the political parties, like I said earlier, are not fully conceptualized in the area of ideologies, you would observe these kind of movements. And then also, haven't noticed from the speeches and the comments of the key actors like P.O.B. and Co., who had over the time explained and unveiled that there have been external influences affecting their work. For instance, I would quote Mr. P.O.B. in his speech on Twitter, on X, that this external influences had brought about regular suits in Labour Party, and then all of a sudden the same influences have come on ADC. I think this is more than just internal party crisis, because I believe people can actually solve their matters. Maybe if there are external influences that is not allowing them to function effectively, I think they will have no other choice other than to jump ship to a more calm environment to be able to express their right. I think this is just a matter of someone trying to survive in a very hostile environment.
Okay, aside from the litigations and crisis rocking some of these political parties, is there anything driving these politicians? Does it look like ideology to you, or it's all in a bid to grab power and desperation for their ambitions?
Actually, you would look at, when you talk about politics, politics is about who gets what, and that you cannot rule out completely. It's about who gets what. But we believe that it should be done with a very humane face. If you're going to talk about who gets what, it should be about you serving the people and helping them distribute their resources equitably to the people, to the citizens of the nation. But what we have seen in Nigeria over the years have been winner gets all. The one that goes in there becomes the lord of all, and then begins to deal with the resources the way they want to deal with it. And but you wouldn't blame them so much, like I would say. My blame also goes to the Nigerian people who are the ones that allow themselves to be given some peanuts, and then some of them would decide to fly on one side and allow people who have probably rigged the election or whatever to rule them. Because if someone pays you so much money to be in office, you have no right to determine what he does. So I think apart from just the desperation to get power, which also you cannot be ruled out in a way, I think also who are actually out to see that they salvage the nation. And I believe that me and you would not rule that out, that in the midst of plenty corrupt people, there could be one or two people who are out there ready to do the right thing.
All right, let's go back again to the longevity of the ADC itself as a party, especially since the bulk movement of politicians of like mind. And now we've seen the exit of Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and a couple of others to the NDC. if you look at the time frame that we are in May already, and there is election fixed for January. And going again by the facts that you did mention earlier that, you know, sometimes you need to move for your ideologies to be realized. Is this a good time for this movement politically? Mr. Ukpola, are you there with us?
I lost you for a second.
Right, so I did ask you that when we look at the longevity of the ADC under the leadership of David Mark and his ESCO members, and the fact that there is an election coming up in January, politically, is this a good time for this move by Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, self-survival is the first rule here. You would have to survive first before you can contest and before you can actually do anything. In this game that we're playing here, politics is about who everybody is fighting to edge out their opponent, especially what you're seeing in Nigeria.
Okay.
If the opposition does not strategize or move strategically to survive, believe me, what we would have at the end of the day would unopposed leadership, unopposed contest where the ruling party becomes unopposed. So I think whatever the opposition parties have to do to survive, I think it's very important that they make their move. Time is not the issue here. What's important is while the other side is fighting to make sure that this person is not on the ballot or does not find a good footing to survive, this other opposition will also be fighting to make sure that he survives and then gives a good fight. And I think it's a good thing for Nigerians also, because it will not be a good democratic experience for us to have a no contest, especially at a time where the country cannot really say that it is doing too well. Okay. Because if it was actually doing too well, we would say, okay, now we can let it go. But I think there's room to allow Nigerians to decide if they really want this leadership to continue or they want another option.
Okay, even though Nigeria is not what we want it to be yet, looking at the track records of this men when they were governors in Kano and Anambra states, do they have that competence to transform Nigeria into paradise, looking at what they achieved as governors in their respective states?
Okay, if we are to follow what is in the public domain, it will not be in doubt to say that someone like Mr. Peter Obi has the competence and the capacity to deliver in the country. I won't be speaking for him, but I think his past deliverables should speak for him. The same thing, I think Kwankwaso also probably did well in Kano. But to see while we are speaking in their past or what they have done in the past, feeling that when they get there, they will be able to deliver also. Because we have also seen people who in their past also did well, and then in the present, they didn't do too well. So, but from what you said, their history, their delivery, what they have done in the past as governors, if you look at that, then Mr. Peter Obi, I think, should stand out right now as the best candidate they have in the country right now that can lead that ship, if you use that as your yardstick of measurement.
Okay, still riding on this question, talking about performances and how these men have done well in previous capacities that they served. Let's talk about the voter perception. I know earlier on you talked about the fact that it's a survival move. You need to survive first before you think of getting yourself endeared to the voting public. And so now that they have survived, or they are surviving, especially in the opposition, now with the party that they have joined now, looking at Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso. And look, from what Ahmed Babadati said yesterday, that the duo still needs to conform with the northern voting bloc. So when you look at the two of them coming together, do you see a formidable team in these men to give the ruling party a run for, the votes?
If you look at the statistics of the last election, okay, let's use that as the most current database to work with. That statistics actually will be saying that they definitely would have to, they will be able to give the ruling party a run for the votes. But I would say, what I would say here is that what is important that we should be looking at is Nigerians need a transparent, credible election. Now, if the ruling party can give the people a transparent and credible election. Now let me quote the former president, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who said when he came on board, the man actually accepted, and the first thing he did was to accept that the system and the process that brought him to power was not perfect. It wasn't good enough. And so he took steps to see that there was a reform to get us a credible election.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, what I have to say here is this: what we should craving for right now is that the ruling party should give the Nigerian people a credible and transparent election. Let the people's vote count. Let who they vote become their leader.
Okay.
If the people say they want a goat to be their leader, let the goat be their leader. You see, that's my own concern. I want this voter apathy to come to an end, because what is making Nigerians not to come out to vote? Because, okay, look at it. We have a country of over 240 million people, and then of the youthful age of over 200 of youthful age. Let's put it together. Do you come to a place and there's only about 30 million people that comes out to vote out of this is not even half of the population. What is half? It's not even up to 1/3 of the, it's not up to 1/4 of the population.
Okay.
And so I still believe that the number of people that are coming out to vote is not even enough to prove the choice of Nigerians yet. So we need to do whatever we can to have a credible and transparent election such that many more people can come out and vote and at least give the true opinion of the Nigerian populace. Okay. That's what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Okay, the situation that we have presently is completely different from what we had in 2023. Then the incumbent president was not in power. And if I'm not wrong, I think Mr. Peter Obi got about 6 million votes. Kwankwaso got over 1 million votes. Putting the two together, do you think this combination will be strong enough to wrestle power from the ruling party as we speak? And the APC, as of today, has about 31 state governors.
Okay.
Did you get my question?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm getting you. Go ahead. Okay. Now, but when you gave me the figures, you didn't give me the figure of the ruling party, the person that won.
That was 8 million plus. 8 million plus.
Okay. Now, you see, if you look at that, and you would also see that I think the competition or the election will be a good match. It will be a good match because if he was 8 million plus, and then just records, we should also put in notice that these figures were also contested.
Yeah.
These figures are still in contrast to what majority of the people had believed was what transpired. But let's still use it as a figure to deal with. Now, if you come with that figure and then with what Kwankwaso had and put them together, I think it's a fair match because there will be almost like 8 million about that to contest. So I think it's a good match to have them run the game and see how it's going to go. But then what we should be looking at is to see that there should be a credible and transparent election. Let it be a fair play, so that nobody comes out tomorrow and and they are running in and out of courts to judge the matter. Let it be that it is transparent. Let it be that Nigerians' votes count. That's what I'm talking about. But also to take note of something, they have about 31 governors, and I think that is the error. That's a mistake. That's a mistake that the current leadership is making. See, a governor is one vote. Now, let me even not say one vote alone. If you add the governor and all his commissioners and all his local government chairmen and all his appointees, they are not even up to 1,000 people in a state. And so I don't think that is enough to give a credit to a particular location, because what the people that determines the vote is the grassroots, is the people. And these are the people who feel the pinch of what leadership is in a country. So when we're talking about who votes, the people that are going to vote are the people at the grassroots. And so the governors will do their one vote, their commissioners will do their one vote, and then the majority of the states will also come from the grassroots. And I think that's what we should be looking at. How are they faring? Those people that are supposed to be the majority, are they willing? Are they feeling it good so far? Have they been won over by the ruling party? Have they been won over by the ruling party? Or are the ruling party only winning over people who are the ones touching the money and probably eating the money? What about the grassroots people who are not seeing the money, who probably are going through a whole lot? So what is going to happen with them? These are the majority of people who are going to cast the vote. And so I think the fear should be more of what will be the opinion of the grassroots who are not touching the money, who are suffering, who are going through what they're going through right now. So the governor is not, to me, is irrelevant in this matter. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ukpola, as we wrap up this conversation this morning, what will be the role of civil society organizations? You are a civil society leader yourself, and it seems that your voices are no longer as loud as it used to be. So what would the civil society organizations be doing, especially at ensuring that there is voter awareness and more Nigerians, the need for more Nigerians to go out there and cast their ballots, and the fact that their votes should count?
Anyway, I would first agree with you partially when you said the voices are not loud as it used to be. Yes, actually, because if you notice, the freedom of speech or expression of opinions is not as it should be also in the past. And so I see a lot of people also are cowarding out, and they are not able to really just go out there and say the way it is. At least you can see a lot of things happening in the country where people like Justice Crack and other people are being carried out. All of a sudden, somebody says something, the next moment they come to the house and carry the person, and the person is already in an unknown place. And then you see these civil society people are also trying to live their own life while they are trying to help the country survive. But you see the polity, the way the situation is in the country right now, many people are not finding it easy to just express themselves as they would want to. But then also we are trying our best. At least you can remember the Nigeria Electoral Reform Coalition, which I lead and I'm the initiator. We fought so hard to make sure that we made a lot of advocacy to see that the electoral reform was carried out in the National Assembly, which of course they did the way they wanted to do at the end of the day. But then that's not the end of it all, because electoral reform is just the Electoral Act is just a document. We are also working something which will soon be, you will hear it, we're launching out a program that will be aiming at electoral integrity to ensure that
all right, I think he's actually made his point there, and hopefully that will help more Nigerians know the reasons why their votes should count and why they also should be part of the voting process in January 2027. Thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu Ukpola, civil society leader and political strategist, for finding time to be with us on the program this morning. We appreciate your thoughts and your contributions on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Right. Okay, we've been speaking with our guest via Zoom this morning. We apologize for the poor quality of that interview session. It probably was also due to the network. We'll take a quick break and the conversation returns shortly.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.